Hello, this is Erin with The Joy in Pens and Paper, and I am going to do an ink swatching video of the current Periwinkle inks that I have in my collection. And this is as of the end of December of 2023. I have a Kakimori brass nib dip pen and a cup of fresh water, and then my bottles and samples. So let's start with my ink bottles, and I'm going to start with the Periwinkle ink that started it all, and I'm going to regret this actually because there's a shimmer. That's okay. It's okay. So this is by Dominant Industry. It's called Periwinkle Twinkle, and it has this really lovely champagne pinky shimmer that's all here at the bottom. So I'm just going to agitate that. It's just something special about seeing the shimmer move through the bottle of ink. Yeah, this is a really lovely ink that, because of all of my kind of ink exploration this year, I have not used this to the extent that I had wanted to. So I will rectify that for 2024. At least my intention is to rectify that. There we go. All right, let's get this swatch going. All right, so I'm going to do a little spot here, and I will dab just a little bit. Might need to move that. There we go. So again, this is Dominant Industry. And Periwinkle Twinkle. So to me, a Periwinkle ink is kind of a blurple, a bluish purple. And generally on the lighter end. Right here I did, sorry, I'm turning my page because it's more comfortable for me to write that way. But off to the side I'm doing these 5 lines, and with the Kakimori brass nib dip pen, oh, look at that beautiful shimmer. You can change the line width just by changing the angle in which you are holding the pen. And so I just do that just to show the line with variations, and you can see some of the pooling off to the side for looking at some shading properties. All right, so this next, ooh, goodness gracious, Erin. This next bottle is a Pilot Iroshizuku, and it's called Ajisai. Now this one I did purchase on Amazon. That's not my favorite thing to do, but the price just seemed very worth it. And then when it arrived, the cap was actually broken the entire way around. The top of the cap detached from the side of the cap. So I did, I super glued it, and I think I saved the bottle. Oh, here I was acting like I was done writing that word, and I was not. I say this in a lot of my videos. If you can hear my son in the background, he does a lot of online gaming with his friends and is very charismatic in his gaming. So at times he can get a little loud, and I do choose to do my filming while my family is doing their independent activities so that I am not missing out on anything. So apologies. Let's see, I think that is dry, so I can put my cat down. This page holder was gifted to me by Tina, as was this little cute cat right here. All right, in the next bottle, this is from Diamine Ink Vent 2021, and it's a standard ink called Nightshade. Oh, interesting. So I built these color families by looking through, oops, why did I just do that? By looking through the swatch book that I have by Periwinkle. And as we all know, or you will come to know, right here, the inks are going to react differently, dry differently, hit the paper differently. Whoopsies. I can't talk and write at the same time. Based on the type of paper that you're putting it on. So on the Periwinkle paper, this had a little bit more of a blurple hint to it than it does on Tomoe River paper. So that's interesting, but as it dries, I see some lightness coming through. This is just a little bit more on the grayish blue side than what I anticipated for a Periwinkle swatch. You can definitely see the oils from my hands because I'm resting my hands on the edge of the page are coming through there. I've seen some individuals on YouTube wear like a white glove on their hand to keep the oils from transferring. I just haven't felt the need to do that. So the next one is a sample from Goulet Pens. And this one is called Robert Oster Gray Seas. And this one is a little bit more on the navier side than Periwinkle. And again, this shows off the different line variations of the Kakimori brass nib dip pen. Certainly a glass dip pen is wonderful for doing ink swatches. Anything that you can just dip and go and not have to worry about cleaning out the feed or things like that I would certainly recommend. And the glass dip and brass nib, it's really nice. Just you put it in some water and it rinses off and you're ready to go for the next swatch. And you're not necessarily wasting a ton of ink. This is very light, very light. Let me just make sure I don't think I watered it down. 1, 2, 3, bring that across. So you see me doing some counting for spacing. So this is a sample of Colorverse Alpha Cancer, which they note as CNC. And I think I already said this, but because I can't talk and write at the same time, this is from Ink Flight or Ink Journal. This was a subscription that I participated in last, I think I started it maybe in January or December, but I participated in it through the spring. And when my family went down to one income this summer, this was a subscription that I canceled, and I haven't picked it back up. I just have a lot of inks and specifically a lot of samples that I want to have the opportunity and the space to really explore and work through, as opposed to just collecting and taking up space. This is another one from a Ink Flight, and this is Van Diemen's Blue Jay Crown. Ooh, I crunched that one. Let me just go ahead and bring that down just a little bit. 1, 2, 3. This is another one that's very light. This is very light, but definitely in the Periwinkle family. And this is a great example of both of these inks from the Ink Journal, Ink Flight, Colorverse, and Van Diemen's are beautiful inks, but I have not put them into pens because I am very lucky to have an abundance of inks to choose from. So I want to be able to use them. All right, and this last one is a new addition to my collection. Actually, when I planned out my color families, this was not a sample that was in my collection, but I've since received it from Tina, the same viewer that shared the cat. And this one is absolutely gorgeous. I've done a little bit of searching, not extensive, and this is a bit on the purpler side of Periwinkle, but then it dries very differently. See how it's shifted to green already? And then it's gonna shift back to purple. This ink is amazing. And I've done a little bit of searching online and haven't yet found a bottle of this. So yeah, look at the difference between the writing and the swatch. So if anyone were to stumble across this and see where a bottle is being sold, please rush over here and leave me a comment to tell me where I can get it. So this one is called Trust You by Tono and Limbs. Beautiful. And just to highlight the difference between papers. So like I said, this I anticipated to dry down purple. And it's still drying, it very well might. But this is Tomoe River paper, and this is the Periwinkle swatch. Let me do that. Look how different that color is just because of the paper. Ah, I love it. I love it. I love it. This is an ink that I want to just play with so much because it is so beautiful. And it is appearing to be very misplaced within this swatch. Although here at the end, it's getting a little bit more on that purple side. It's fascinating. All right, so some of the inks, just a little spoiler alert, that I had earmarked for this color family, the Periwinkle color family, were swatched in my light purple swatch, and it was the Sailor Manyo Neko Yanagi and Sailor Manyo Fuji. But when I saw them dried down again on this paper, I thought, you know what, light purple is their place. That's where they belong. The Periwinkle category would not be it. Excuse me. But again, look at that shimmer in the Periwinkle Twinkle. These are some beautiful inks, with that one perhaps being the Whoopsie. But I'm okay with that because I really like that ink. All right. Thank you for watching. If you made it to the end, I greatly appreciate it. And I will be back with another color family from my collection. Bye.